landmarks of the thorax are bony landmarks and soft tissue landmarks. In the bony landmarks category, we have a suprasternal or jugular notch, sternal angle or angle of Lewis, xiphisternal joints, costal cartilage, ribs, and thoracic vertebrae spine. And in the soft tissue landmarks, we have the nipple, apex pit, trachea, mid-clavicular or lateral vertical or mammary plan, mid-axillary line, and scapular line that I'm going to talk about these topics in a few minutes. Let's get started with bony landmarks. Suprasternal notch or jugular notch. If look at this picture, and if you look at this structure that's called sternum, we have a manubrium in the upper and the body of the sternum and the xiphoid process in the lower part of this bone. In fact, it is felt just above the superior border of the superior border of the manubrium between the sternal end of the clavicles. It lies at the level of the lower border of the body of the second thoracic vertebra. Trachea can be palpated in this notch. So suprasternal notch or jugular notch is here, and you can touch trachea and palpate trachea in this notch. The second bony landmarks of the thorax is sternal angle or angle of Lewis. Sternal angle is felt as a transverse ridge about 5 cm below the suprasternal notch. If here is suprasternal notch, 5 cm below this line we have a transverse line that is sternal angle or angle of Lewis. It marks the manubriosternal joint. So this angle marks the manubriosternal joint and lies at the level of second costal cartilage anteriorly, and the disc between 4th and 5th thoracic vertebrae posteriorly. This is an important landmark for following reasons. For example, the ribs are counted from this level. Downwards. There is no other reliable point anteriorly, for example, from which the ribs may be counted. The second costal cartilage is here. The second costal cartilage and second rib lie at the level of sternal angle or angle of Lewis. The ribs are counted from here by tracing the finger downwards and laterally, because the lower costal cartilages are crowded and the anterior parts of the intercostal space are very narrow. As you can see here, the anterior part of the intercostal space are very narrow, so you couldn't count the ribs in anterior. So you should count the ribs from upward to downward and to the lateral. So intercostal space are wider in lateral than anterior. So the sternal angle or angle of Lewis is very important to counting the ribs and find a ribs too many working you can do on the thorax. Sternal angle or angle of Lewis, it marks the plan which separates the superior mediastinum from the inferior mediastinum that I'm going to talk about in the future. The ascending aorta ends at this level. The ascending aorta is the first part of the aortic arc. Is the first part of the aorta that's called ascending aorta, that is ends at this level, at the sternal angle or angle of Lewis. And the arc of aorta begins and also ends at this level. More is the descending aorta begins at this level and go downward to the thorax. The trachea also divides into two principal bronchi at this level, at the level of angle of Lewis or sternal angle. And more is about this angle is that the azygous vein arcs over the roots of the right lung and opens into the superior vena cava. As you can see here, we have a superior mediastinum here and the inferior mediastinum that I will teach you in the future. We are talking about sternal angle or angle of Lewis that is located here. I'm showing to you in this picture, and its important role in identify the structure inside and on the surface of the thorax. The pulmonary trunk is another artery that go out from the heart. The pulmonary trunk divides into two pulmonary arteries, right and left, just below this, the level of the angle of Lewis or sternal angle. And more is about this angle is the thoracic duct is a lymphatic duct that gather the interstitial fluid. A thoracic duct crosses from the right to the left side at the level of fifth thoracic vertebrae and reaches at the left side at the level of the sternal angle. Angle of Lewis marks the upper limit of base of the heart, and this angle is cardiac plexus, and at this level cardiac plexuses are situated at this same level. As I told before, the third bony landmark of the thorax is xiphoesternal joint. The costal margin that you can see here, the costal margin on each side is formed by 7th to 10th costal cartilage. Between the two costal margins there lies the infrasternal or subcostal angle. Here is the infrasternal or subcostal angle. The depression in the angle is also known as the epigastric fossa. So here is the epigastric fossa, and it's a depression in the angle. In the xiphoesternal joint we have a depression called epigastric fossa. Xiphoid, that is called sport in Greek, process lies in the floor of the epigastric fossa. Xiphoid process is here, is located in the floor of the epigastric fossa at the apex of the angle. The xiphoesternal joint may be felt as a short transverse ridge. As you can see here, this is the xiphoesternal joints. It's a transverse line between the body of the lower part of the body of the sternum and the xiphoid process. Costal cartilages are another bony landmarks of the thorax. Costal cartilages that you can see in a blue color are located between ribs and sternum just in anterior. The second costal or ribs in Latin words.